Hi, my name is Mark Massey here at Elite Jiu-Jitsu Academy. I'm with my assistant Curtis Smith. I was asked a question about one of our affiliate schools back east. How to get out of a Judo Kesa Gatame Americana arm lock, where your opponent has you in the scarf hold or Kesa Gatame and beginning to arm lock or Americana with their legs. Very common submission in Judo, and I have seen it in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu as well. So after playing around with it quite a bit, we've come up with this solution. Hopefully it helps. So, first and foremost, to avoid, come around this way if you would, to avoid getting put in the leg Americana to begin with, I do not want to give him the gift of my arm. Okay? So the first thing you want to do is preventive measures. When you get put in the scarf hold, a preventive measure of that is not to get put in the scarf hold. But if you get put in the scarf hold, the next thing is protect your arms. Lock behind their shoulders up high and exude pressure. From there, we can work our bridge and roll escapes and a few other escapes, which are in other videos, but for now we'll address if I make the mistake and say I want a frame and I pull this arm out and not protect this arm. He gets it and drives it down, locks it in, and now I'm in trouble. The submission is when he brings his feet back and pulls on my neck this way. Not a neck crank, although refs might see it as a neck crank if you move the head, but it's definitely a shoulder lock. So even if he doesn't want the risk of being DQ'd by neck cranking, he can do this just with his legs, right there. So what I want to do is I need to get my arm and shoulder into a natural, comfortable position for my body. Americanas are the most painful when they're out 90 degrees and your elbow starts being lifted while your wrist stays on the mat. However, if your arm is at this angle, it's a very comfortable, natural position for your shoulder. So I keep this here because I'm going to be using this later, and I'm going to be turning my hand in so I'm cupping his hamstring or behind his leg right here. I'm cupping that. I then start working my body sideways. I turn my head towards his armpit or even his bicep and tuck my chin because I need to get this headlock out of here. If I keep looking at him and he's squeezing, it keeps the headlock tight. Good, tight. So I rotate and I turn my head and I also turn my body, and notice that my head starts slipping out of his noose. I also get my feet in a position for a very common Kesa Gatame escape that we all learn as white belts, and that is to scissor lock his legs. So I push on his face here, down, and lock up. Okay? At this point, he's still got hold of my arm, no big deal. I put a little pressure on his knee, and I extract my arm out of there just like this. Okay? From here, I have a lot of options. I can actually try and submit by squeezing, getting my choke, sitting back, armbar, or rising up, getting the Kimura lock, or just reestablishing side control. So one more time. I start here and I make the mistake of getting too anxious to frame escape, and I give him this arm without protecting my elbow, and he gets it trapped. I immediately turn my hand in towards my, like answering the phone, and I move my feet this way and turn my head. As I turn my head, it starts slipping out of that noose. Once that is established, I'm going to be pushing back, using a little bit of leverage from my one-arm frame, and bringing my legs up, scissor locking, and trapping this, and squeezing. He's still trapping this. I'm gonna just push, just like when we do half guard escapes with our feet. I'm using my hand, and I'm gonna push to extract that. Once I'm here, again, we have a lot of submission options, or simply reestablishing our side control. Okay, why don't you give that a shot? Hope it works out for you.